Hi, welcome to Sunday, and oh god, I haven't been recording vlogs for a long while. But public speaking again. I got to do and this is my persuasion speech practice, which I've done very little of. So yeah, just wish me luck tomorrow on my speech. Oh god. He was 18. He was one of my classmates, and after class he usually would go straight to the library, finds a quiet corner, and either starts reading books or looking into his laptop. After 6 p.m. he would go back to his student housing and continue to do what he was doing. He is always alone and sad. Now, as international students, I trust we have been through the same sort of things at some point here, right? So, but college is such a big experience in our lives, and so why do we need to live in sadness? Why don't we live in happiness? So, but before I answer any of those questions, run us please. Now on these index cards, I want you guys to write one thing that makes you feel sad now. Not nervous, but sad. And it will have its use later. So, why do we feel unhappy in the first place? Now, but I believe that one of the main causes of this is stress. As you can see here, over 80% of college students have been feeling overwhelmed and exhausted from school, and these are the symptoms of their stress. So what makes you guys stress? Assignments and grades, maybe? Well, in theory, yeah. This graph shows that most college students feel somewhat stress from academic workloads, from assignments to tests to exams. And how about another thing, parents? Your parents called you a lot, asked you a lot of stuff about your mood, your friendships, and just straight up your grade. You do feel annoyed, don't you? You do feel a bit stressed from them. The next thing, future. Now, I trust that all of your parents here, all the parents are pretty honest to you and have told you about the brutal reality of our future. They may have told you about the struggles of buying a flat, of finding a job, etc, etc. And look at the news of unemployment rates and house prices. I do feel stressed, and to a certain degree scared even. And I believe that a lot of others felt the same, and actually it is. 80% of college students actually feel stressed about their future, and most college students are already concerned about the future before they enter college. With around 90% of college students, you can see here, the reason of entering college is to make more money or improve their employment opportunities. So yeah, the third and final thing I believe that makes us feel sad is homesickness, which is very common amongst international students, but also quite common to US students, with around 60% of them feeling lonely at times. But the situation for international students is more serious, as 65% of international students actually felt lonely. But that's because that we're not states or provinces apart from our family, but rather oceans apart. that distance what kills us. So, what are the effects of such unhappiness? Physically, college students may find substances to rely on, such as tobacco, marijuana, or even more serious cases, alcohol. Now, as you can see here, the odds ratio that are happiness related to tobacco usage is 1.52 and 1.37 respectively, which is sort of a moderate number as you consider some high-risk behaviours such as, of course, binge drinking has odds ratio of about 5, and also some gender and race-related factors have their numbers below 1, so it's about in the middle. Mentally, people who are in happiness are more prone to being suffered from depression or anxiety. Now, 1 in 3 college students have suffered from prolonged depression, and 30% of them have experienced problems on schoolwork because of their mental health issues. Now, this might be a bit of a tangent, but that story I've told you on the beginning, that's actually my old self. Back in primary school, I have no friends and I usually hide in the library all the time. But luckily things took a turn to the better. Otherwise I won't be needing to face the most serious effects of unhappiness, which is the suicidal thoughts people may have. They will have these thoughts because they can't find solutions from the problems they're facing, and turn to death for solution. Now, 1 in 4 college students have suicide thoughts, and actually 1 in 10 have committed such actions. These are alarmingly high percentages, as actually in some ages the suicide rates are actually higher than homicide rates, which is quite horrible. So, how do we make us feel happier, you might ask? Well, here are some suggestions. Now, you might think I'll give you some cheesy ones, because such as like exercise or meditation. Well, those won't work with you guys, right? So, my first suggestion is to chase your dreams, give it 110%. And even if you don't achieve it, you'll still be great because you know you do your best. Now, how do we do this exactly? Well, I'll give you here a dream board. This is a typical dream board, and on top of it is littered with things you want to do, places you want to go, or just where you want to be, your social status, perhaps, in a few years' time. Now, I understand that as international students, we don't have the space to put such a huge board in our tiny little rooms, or in host families, or in our apartments. So, my suggestion is to put it perhaps in a notebook, or even better, on your laptop as wallpaper, or your tablet as your wallpaper. A place that you can see it every day and remind yourself, and to give yourself motivation, and that will make yourself feel happier. Now, next, I want to introduce you a technique called neuro-linguistic programming, also known as NLP. It's basically rephrasing what you think. And by changing the way you think, your actions and habits will be changed, and these will lead to better outcome, and your life will go to a more positive manner, and the cycle just goes more and more positive, which is good. Now let me take you through an example. Now, we all have responsibilities in studying in college, such as needing to complete assignments on time. So how do we make this statement, I need to complete assignments on time, into a more positive sentence? Now, well, very apparently, just add some positive outcome that might cause by completing assignments on time. So, what will be generated after completing assignments on time? Good grades. So, like, add getting good grades on. And also try to eliminate the obligation wording such as need, and change it into something that will more persuasive, or something that you yearn to do, like the word want. So here is the outcome. So final outcome is that I want to complete assignments so that I can get good grades. That sounds much more gentler, doesn't it? So get out your index cards, which we use in the beginning, and on the back of that card, try to use the rephrasing thing I just taught you about. Try adding some positive things into it, and yeah, just do the rephrasing, and yeah, hopefully that will help you. But since time has constraints, here's mine. So my cause of unhappiness is can't see my friends back home. Well, I change it a lot to I can still Skype with my friends back home and play with my friends here at the same time. It seems much more positive, isn't it? So that's all from me. And I would like to use a quote, or be changed a little, of Neil Armstrong to end this speech. It's a small step for us, but it's a giant leap for our happiness. Thank you. Oh, God. Still need to improve memorization and just time. Yeah, because 10 minutes 14 isn't that good. We're still need to do visual aids and demonstration, so could still be a bit dodgy, but I'm doing my best, and wish me luck. Let's meet back the next time, shall we?